Yes, I think coming off our third straight road game, glad to get the win out there in Texas. Thought our guys played solid. Solid win against a team I think was playing some of their best ball in that 4-game stretch. And, we're glad to be back home now. 2 games left in the regular season for us, and to play both of them in Boone is good. We're looking forward this week, hosting Georgia State and, playing another conference game. And, again, just glad to be back in Boone.
Thank you very much, Coach. Our first questions come from Ethan Joyce. Ethan, please go ahead.
Hey, Scott, I know there have been a few times this season where you've talked about how important controlling your destiny is. How's the team reacted just to, getting the win and everything else that happened in the conference to kind of set you guys back up to really control that destiny?
Well, I think, for us, it's just you take it one game at a time, you try to do the best you can, and see where the chips may fall. The thing we've been talking about, particularly the last few weeks, is that there's a lot of football left to be played, and, back at the beginning of November, four conference games, and I feel like this conference from top to bottom is as strong as it's ever been, and now potentially 7 teams could get bowl eligible, and out of 10, that's pretty strong, and so we knew coming into November that there's a lot of things that got to happen, and as you play, you just got to take it one game at a time, and it's still that way. Everything's focused on Georgia State this week, and that's it. And and now it's good because the fact that we can, if you can, handle your business, and you have an opportunity to play for your championship.
I know you guys have been in the mix for the conference title late in the season before, but this one, just kind of the way it sets up, it kind of looks like it has more of a playoff kind of feel to it. Is that kind of an advantageous thing as a coach with a team going into their last stretch of the season?
Well, I think, it certainly doesn't hurt. I think, you just a little bit more probably sense of urgency and to know that, you have to win this week, or really the next week doesn't matter, as far as conference race goes. And I think that's, just makes you, I think, just concentrate maybe a little bit more throughout the week in preparation and all that. And, but again, you can't worry about next week or the week after next. I mean, you have to focus everything this week on Georgia State, and that's what our guys are doing. And but it is good to know that it is in your hands. You don't have to have anybody else to win or lose and that kind of thing.
Last one for me. Cam Peoples gets in the game in that fourth quarter. He obviously was going to need some more playing time outside of that Gardner-Webb game. But what kind of made you decide to put him in that game, and just kind of what were your overall thoughts about how he did?
Well, we've traveled him now the last couple of games, and if there's an opportunity to put him in, we wanted to put him in, and it arose in that game last week. Toward the end of the game, we wanted to get him some carries and got him in there and did some good things. I mean, he's a good player. He's got great size, good speed. He's hard to tackle. But there's a lot of things he has to learn, and that's kind of just easing him in. And with ball outside of your hands, protections and routes and all those kind of things. And he's still learning all that. And he's got a great attitude, and he's fun to be around. And I think he's got a really, really bright future. And so he's played in 2 games now, can play in 2 more. And so our thoughts are our other backs, Marcus Williams Jr. and Darrington, they've played well. So so we're in a good position with running back wise, and so we'll see if we can get him a couple more games to play, and and get his red shirt, and then he'll have a very good 4 years here.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott. Our next questions will come from Dan McDonald with The Advocate. Dan, please go ahead.
Morning, Coach. Just wanted to ask what the status was on Zach Thomas this week.
Oh, he's good to go. He's fine.
Okay, and your defense, you've given up less than 10 points in 6 of your last 8 games, and you've only given up 14 points in the second half in the 7 games you've won. Can you talk a little bit about how your defense has sort of come together?
Yeah, they played well all year, really. First game we give up some points against a really good offense in Penn State, Trace McSorley, and that bunch. But really they've played well all year. the coaching staff said they do a great job throughout the week of preparation, and then our kids have done a really good job of going out and executing on game day. We just think our guys understand what we're trying to do defensively. They can run well. They tackle well for the most part. It's just, what they do is make the offense have to earn their yards and their points. And, we don't want to give up anything free, so they just have to earn it. And, when teams have to do that, they have a hard time moving the football and scoring points.
Could you also talk a little bit about Sean Elliott, obviously coach at Georgia State? You guys played together and coached together. Does this make it more, for lack of a better term, almost a fun week?
Well, it's not fun really for me to go against, somebody like Sean. I mean, we played together for 5 years and coached together for, I think, 12, or a long time. I mean, or maybe 11, but he's a good friend and teammate and all that. So I don't ever like going against, guys like that. And, but just like him, and we're going to prepare and, the best we can to go out and play a really good football game. And, but no, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make it fun playing your buds like that. I don't really like doing that. We've had to do it. I played Toledo 3 times in bowl games, and I mean, Jason Candle's a good friend of mine too. I just, to me, it's not fun playing your friends, but if you're in this business long enough, your friends are going to end up becoming head coaches, and you're going to have to go against them. So, but you prepare just like any other game and try to go out and win.
Appreciate it, Coach.